Well, hello everybody. I'm glad you could be here to listen to this today, a little short video, just trying to educate the public. You know, we've always said that only the truth will set you free, and I certainly believe that. I hope you do too. And if you do believe that, then you got to remember the opposite. Lies that you believe are holding you in bondage. Well, I'm here to break that bondage. I don't want you to be held in bondage anymore. I want you to be free so you can make the right decisions for yourself and your family. I've told you before, the healthcare system we have today is unsustainable. It is going to collapse. It has no choice. You can't afford it. I can't afford it. Your insurance is so high you probably can't even afford it. And thanks to Obamacare, it's getting worse. Just my opinion, but I am appreciative of you being on this, listening to this video today. Now, listen to me. Today, we're going to talk about a subject that goes way back in history. As a matter of fact, it's titled, In the Beginning. Now, in the beginning, the next word is God. You know, if we'd get that settled in our lives and in our hearts and in our country again, lots of things would change for the good. That's just my opinion. I'm sticking with it. I hope you do too. So what happened? According to the Bible, and I'm a big believer in the Bible, in the beginning, God did what? He created everything. In the beginning, God made everything, the earth and everything that's in it. And then he did something really cool. He made us. He made man in his image. In the beginning, God made man in his image. How cool is that? Do you know you are a child of the King? Now, there's a lot of extra privileges to being a child of the King. The biggest privilege of all is God designed us in his own image. Now, God lives forever. And guess what he did? He not only made man in his image, he made him to live forever. How did he make man according to the Bible? He made man from the soil of the earth. Now, what soils are we talking about? Well, you look at where man was made, around the Garden of Eden. How did that happen? It says God took the soil from the earth and he made man. Now, what soil? It's the soil called the Garden of Eden. It's that part of the country where the Nile, the Euphrates, and the Tigris rivers all come together. Do you know back then they prayed for flooding? They really did. You know why? Because the floods brought in these rich topsoils. Some of the richest topsoils in the world are still there to this day because the floods bring in the topsoils. And what do? They grow some of the richest foods in the world. But the main thing those foods have in them are minerals. You read Senate Document 264 written in 1931. I challenge you to look it up and read it. It plainly says that the Congress sent a group of scientists all over the world, all over the United States, to test the topsoils, and they came back and reported in 1931 that the topsoils in the United States were already 86% depleted of the minerals necessary for good health. Now, there's 74 minerals and trace elements that's necessary for good health. We're 86% depleted, and what happens as a result of that? Well, we're living that result right now. They warned us back in 1931 that if we didn't figure out a way to get the minerals back in the soils that our foods were growing out of, and remember, plants can manufacture vitamins, but they cannot manufacture minerals. They have to come from the soil. So what happened? They warned us, if we don't put the minerals back in the soil, guess what? We're going to be suffering from deficiency disorders. What do we got today? We are dying. The 5 fatal diseases in America. Heart disease number 1, cancer number 2, stroke number 3. Then you get on down, you get respiratory disorders are number 4, and number 5 is diabetes. And diabetes is all but epidemic in America today. And let me tell you what all 5 of those diseases have in common. They are deficiency disorders. Now, what does the word deficiency mean? It means a lack of. You see, our food supply is lacking. We know the minerals are not there. I'm telling you right now, back in 1920s and 30s, you could eat a cup of spinach and get all the iron you needed for a week. Today, you'd have to eat a bushel to get the same amount of iron. It's no longer in the soil, therefore it's no longer in the food, and we wonder why we're hungry all the time. One of the reasons we're hungry all the time is the food we've got is just deficient of a lot of the things we need. We cook and process our foods, which destroys the vitamins. So what are we getting? We're getting carbohydrates and calories. That's what we're getting. If we eat a meat, we're getting our proteins. That's good. But what about those minerals? What about those vitamins? We're simply deficient and we're developing diseases. Now remember, you don't catch heart disease. Are you afraid to be around somebody that has heart disease? Well, no, you can't catch it. What about cancer? Nope, you can't catch it. Respiratory disorders, no. Stroke, no, you don't catch it. Diabetes, you don't catch it. You know what you do? You develop it. Now, they want you to believe you inherit it. Let me tell you something. Don't buy into that. You don't inherit those diseases. I do not believe it. I do believe that there are a few rare cases that people inherit some types of disease, but those diseases that are killing American, arthritis and things like that, they simply happen because we're not feeding our bodies the proper nutrition that it needs to manufacture healthy cells. But you can, and we're going to talk to you about how to do that too. So, God designed man to live forever. Isn't that cool? Do you know scientists today still haven't figured out for sure why people can't replicate themselves over and over again, generation after generation after generation, live forever? I can tell you why. Deficiencies. We're simply not getting the supplies we need from our food. So every generation of cells that we get after a certain age gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And therefore, by the time we're in our 70s and 80s, we have to have things to help us walk. We have to have knee replacements. What an insanity. Back in the Bible, before the flood, the average lifespan was 916 years. You check it out, the genealogies there. It tells you how long they lived. But after the flood, God says, I'll no longer allow you to live forever, but I'll allow you to live 120 years. Well, I, for one, would like to live to be 120 and watch my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, my great and my great-great-grandchildren grow up. And that's my goal. Hang with me. I'll show you how we might be able to do that. So God designed man to live forever, but what did man do? Man went against God's will. He decided he wanted to do it his way instead of God's way. And what happened? God kicked him out of the Garden of Eden and said, you will earn your food by the sweat of your brow. So stress stepped into the picture. Our food supply got weaker. The further we moved away from the perfect soils, the weaker our food supply became. Not only that, now we're exposed to pollution. And what's the food industry done today? They're filling your food full of all kinds of chemicals that man was never designed to eat, never designed to put that garbage in their bodies, and yet we're filling our bodies full of that stuff, and we wonder why we're sick all the time. Lack of nutrition, exposure to pollution, lots of stress, and even dirty water. Oh my goodness, look at the water supply and what's going into it from all the synthetic drugs that people are swallowing and then urinating out, going into the sewage system, and then it's replenished. And guess what? The filters on the sewage systems today and on the filtration systems are not designed to take that garbage out. So you're actually taking drugs you're not even prescribed to a degree or another. So what's happened? We got kicked out of the garden. We got deficiency disorders. We do understand, and I do believe that man can live 120. There's several different research groups now saying there's no doubt that we will be living 120 years, not so much in the future, not so long into the future, if we do what? If we meet all the needs that the human body has to have. And what are those? 16 vitamins, 74 minerals and trace elements, 12 amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids, 8 glyconutrients, and a bunch of protein. And you know what? Trivarin International specializes in formulating the highest quality food supplements that's ever been put on the market, and we're making it affordable for our members. And did you know you could be a member of Trivarin International and learn this kind of information? Because what do? Our job is to educate you so you can make the right decisions, because only the truth will set you free. So if you join Trivarin International, absolutely free, it don't cost you 1 red cent. You'll start getting emails from us that will help educate you. We'll give you some CDs. You get to listen to videos like this one and watch videos like this one, but we will help you understand what it's going to take for your body to do what? What God himself designed it to do. God designed the human body to heal. That's right, and you know what? It will, as long as it has the raw materials that's necessary. So let me suggest you either contact us at Trivarin International, trivarin.com. If you want to email us, it's trivarin@gmail.com. If you want to call us toll free, it's 855-757-0451. Or let me suggest you do something. Get back with the person that sent you this and ask them to sign you up for free. You'll be so glad you did. Won't cost you a penny, and I guarantee you Trivarin's here for you. Until next time, I hope God blesses you with abundant health.